many. Um, Basically, just a bit of an introduction to myself. So, obviously, my name is Connor. I've been training John, who I'm just about to introduce in a second now, since about February, March time. John, hear me?
No, that was a bit. That was a bit.
We're about kind of 6 months down the line with our training. We'll be training online. And I basically just wanted to get John on today to talk a bit about his journey, what he's learned so far, a bit about his previous experiences with training and routines, and basically just to gather a bit of information on how he's got on so well with things so far, and the mindset he's managed to get himself into. So, John, I'll let you introduce yourself from the get go, man.
Well, hi, I'm John. Like Connor said, I've only been training with him since February, March, so we've not known each other that long, but
Yeah.
just through the time we've spent training together, I've really gotten to know Connor, formed quite a good friendship with him and stuff. I'm 25. I'm a student, well, on holiday for the summer now, but working part time as well. Don't know what else do you want me to
Yeah, mate,
say?
that's
All right.
perfect. That's good enough intro to start, man. So, like I said, one of the reasons I've picked yourself to go on this conversation with me, or this case study with me, is because of the mindset I see in yourself, and it definitely it resembles with me a wee bit in terms of how I feel like I've grown in the past year. And as much as I didn't know you beforehand, I can see you implementing a lot of stuff now, that I've started implementing in my life in the past year or so, and how much that's changed my life. So I want to get a bit of a kind of backstory to before we knew each other, mate. What life was like, and what you basically used to get up to, and what you can routine and habits were then.
Is that like in terms of like the training or just leading up to
Just
it or everything?
training and just routine in general, mate. What life was
All
like.
right, okay. Well, I mean, before I started training with you online, I did used to train myself at the gym. I started going with a friend a while ago. I can't remember when it was now. 2019, maybe. I think
Yeah,
so. Maybe when I started, I properly tried to go, but I never really had a set routine in mind. You know, it was sort of like I would just go do what he was doing kind of thing, and then I started going myself and just kind of trying to hit all the kind of muscle groups in the body and that, but I never really had much structure. Um, I was working full time whilst I was doing all that as well, which I didn't really find an issue with having to fit it in, but I did feel like I was spending a lot of time having to do a lot of research for it, try to look up what I was needing to do properly, because I wanted to kind of take it a bit seriously, but
of course.
I didn't know what I was doing. My food, I was tracking my food like on MyFitnessPal, but I never really knew what my targets should be in terms of like protein, fat, carbs, or calories for that matter. I don't know, I think I was just eating for the sake of eating, if you know what I mean. Like I thought I was
Yeah,
like in that mindset of you've got to eat more to get big.
yeah,
So I was
yeah,
like, I'll
yeah,
eat more.
yeah.
Probably wasn't the right way to do it. I was probably gaining quite a bit of weight
So
and
the
not
goal,
really a
the
lot of
goal at
muscle.
that time was to get bigger then.
Yeah, because I've always been fairly slim, but
Yeah.
when I go through these, I wouldn't say it was fat, but like kind of podgy stages where I just start noticing it in my face and my waistband and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
But never really would say fat. But I wanted to kind of get put a bit more meat on my bones. You know what I mean? A bit more muscular, kind of just feeling like I was quite weak for the height and size that I was, if you know what I
Yeah.
mean. And I was like,
Mm-hmm.
wanted to get a bit stronger, but again, never really had much structure to it. And then injured my wrist. This was late last year, so all the lockdown, I was working out at home through lockdown. I managed to get
Yeah.
some equipment. It was still going all right. I was still eating a load of calories and increasing my weights and stuff like that. It was getting there, probably not the right way, but it was getting there. And then injured my wrist, and I was like, right, okay, I'll take it on the chin. I'll switch up my training a bit. Tried to focus on a bit of cardio,
Yeah.
and then injured my knees, and then just stopped doing anything.
Yeah.
So was just sitting, getting fat pretty much,
Yeah.
because I was still eating all the calories because I was just eating that much food
You were
and
used.
just wasn't doing anything. Just sitting at my desk doing uni work and just getting fat. pretty much, and then it was like it just felt awful.
Yeah. Okay, so before you were actually, it sounds like you were actually in a pretty good routine in terms of going to a gym pre-lockdown stages with a mate and whatnot. You were obviously, even once we went into lockdown, you got your gym equipment and stuff, and you were able to keep things going. What kind of progress did you see during that time?
I mean, not a lot. I'd say my body was getting bigger. I could kind of see kind of a bit of muscle growth. It wasn't so defined though. It was sort of like just overall getting bigger.
Yeah.
I was able to do exercises with higher weights, not necessarily not massive weights, but higher weights than what I was doing.
Yeah, you gained muscle.
But apart from that, not a lot more. I did feel quite active, but I wasn't doing anything else other than just exercising, like doing my workouts. I wasn't doing anything else, like I wasn't going walks or anything like that, if you know what I mean.
Yeah. So it was just the workouts they were doing. That was part of your routine for your health and fitness, really.
Yeah.
So we hurt our wrist, we stopped doing the weights, we hurt our knees, we stopped doing the cardio. Why do you think you stopped totally instead of trying to work ways around it?
Well, with the wrist, it was definitely with the wrist. It felt like any weight that was on it, it was just a lot of pressure, and it felt really uncomfortable. And I was like, right, I need to give that time to rest.
Yeah.
And then I didn't want to, create like an imbalance by only using one of my arms, if you know what I mean, like doing isolation kind of exercises or even going lower weight. I just didn't want to create some sort of imbalance. I don't know if that really happened anyway, but I just didn't want to take that chance.
Mm-hmm.
So when I switched to doing a bit more cardio and I was trying to build up my running and endurance and stuff like that, and then my knees started hurting, I was like, this is just ridiculous. I just kind of was like, my body's just wrecked. I just need to give it time off, and I just never got back to get into it, if you know what I mean. I just got used to having the time off.
Do you think there was just a big frustration there to starting to get into a routine, being able to keep a routine with, I mean, because there's a few blocks to go over there. There's, first of all, there's a lockdown, your gym's shut, man. You've got to find a way to train now.
Mm-hmm.
You're doing your weights, you're seeing a bit of progress, you're getting bigger, which is the goal. Then your wrist starts to hurt, you can't load it with any weight, so you then decide to switch it up to cardio, and then your knees start hurting. Do you think it was just a case of one thing after another here? What's the point? Or was it just a case of, do you know what, I'm just resting, I'm waiting till I totally get better, and that's when I'll get back on?
Well, initially it started off as that I'll just wait and rest it out, but then every time I kind of tried to get back into it, I didn't know if I was maybe still feeling a slight niggle in my wrist or something like that, and I was just a bit scared to kind of commit to it or take it in easy. Like I was a bit frustrated that I wasn't as strong as I used to be.
Yeah.
So it put me off doing it.
Yeah.
Because I wasn't ready to put in the work to work my way back up to where I was, if you know what I mean.
Yeah. So a bit of frustration on maybe the lack of knowledge and how to build that back up without injuring yourself a bit further. And obviously just a bit of frustration in terms of, well, I worked there and I worked through things, and this has set me back, and I've got to go and do this work again to go and get that back. So yeah, I totally get that, man. It was just interesting to know, because obviously I know the ordeals you've literally just been through. So obviously for those that don't know John's literally just come out of his isolation with COVID just a couple of weeks ago. You had COVID, you tested, what, maybe was that 3.5 weeks ago?
It was about 4 weeks ago.
4 weeks ago. And we obviously had a bit of a foot or an ankle injury.
Yeah, 2 weeks prior to
that as well. And then previous to that, we were on just a bit of a break, on holiday, enjoying yourself, which is absolutely fine. We should all be able to do that, enjoy ourselves. So it's interesting to see now the difference, because although you were hit with stumbling block before, you decided rest was the best protocol. But now you've been hit with stumbling block, and in every message you're sending to me, it's like, I can't wait to get back to things. I cannot wait to get this routine back. I feel like shit for doing nothing. What can I do, basically? Why have you made my protein lower? I want my protein to be higher, man. So what do you think the difference is this time round?
Honestly, it'd probably be having the accountability of having you as a coach.
Yeah.
Doing it. Like, it's like we've set goals in place and I'm looking forward to hitting those goals.
Yeah.
But because I know I'm doing it in a structured way with you, like with the training you're giving me and the targets you're setting me, that I know that I'm going to hit these goals that I'm wanting. So because I know that I've got you kind of supporting me in that, it's making me want to get back to it.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like, it's sort of like it's not like necessarily that you're like forcing me to do anything. You're taking everything. You're saying just take it light, take your time, do what you can.
Yeah.
But I'm just that more determined to do it. I don't know if it's sort of like a prove it to you type of thing that I can do it, but it's sort of like, do you know what I mean? It's hard to explain. It's sort of like I just have a feeling of needing to prove that I can do it.
I think the difference this time round being, like you say, it's an important thing there that you just mentioned goals. Because I mean, you had a goal before, but I don't think it was as specific. It was just to say, I'm going to go to the gym. I'm going to try and bulk up a bit. Now you've given me specific numbers. You want to do like you want to work up to 100 kilo bench press, man. There's other lists we want to do, and before we were toning and stuff as well. Although we weren't hit with as much stumbling blocks last time around when we were starting training, it was something you were very, very consistent with, and you kind of took in your stride. So I think the difference being, I think you're totally right. The accountability. I wouldn't even just say that on my end as well. No. Just say the accountability to yourself. And this is one of the biggest things that I preach about for people that watch my stuff, like case studies or any podcasts I'm on or social media pages. Accountability is like kind of front and centre for absolutely everything. I'm going to edit this bit out, mate. Somebody's at my door.
Go for it.
Sorry about that, mate. So, we were talking about accountability there. So, let me ask you then, why do you think accountability is so important?
Because it's sort of like you're kind of setting in stone that you're going to do something. It's like if somebody has said, right, if somebody like asked you to do something, you said, yeah, I'm going to do it, you're more likely you're going to do it than just saying to yourself, I'm going to do it, if you know what I mean. Like saying ahead of time what days I'm going to go into the gym means I'm going to go into the gym on those days, if you know what I mean. Like I'm setting, like I can still do other things around that. I can adjust what time I'm going to the gym, but I'm saying those days I'm going to the gym and that's when I'm doing it. And it's just, I don't know, it's sort of like not wanting to let yourself and others down. You know, it's sort of like a way, I know that other people might view it differently, but to me it's like I really value not being able to kind of let people down when I say I'm going to do something. I like to be trustworthy and reliable in that sense. So when it comes to saying, like, if you set me a target, like say, like, right, go 10k steps for every day of the week, I'm like, right, I'll do it. That's fine. I'll go and do that, no bother. So it's sort of just
set a target of what was it? The target set? Was it 600k steps in a month as well?
Oh, well, no, it was 500. Remember?
Was it 500? Sorry, 500k steps in the space of a month as well. So again, just shows you the standards you're there to set for yourself. And I think an important thing you've mentioned is that you don't want to let others down. But I think a big thing I see in you is you don't want to. Not that you would be by not hitting a step target or anything like that. That's not what I'm trying to get at here. But I think that you don't want to let yourself down as well, because at the end of the day, we've got to look out for ourselves. We can spend so much time looking out for others and giving others our time, which is great. It's nice to be nice, man, but we've got to take care of ourselves as well, which again I think has been just a massive, massive part of your journey, man.
Yeah, absolutely.
So, I want to talk about the routine we're in now, from
Yeah.
the routine we were in kind of pre-COVID and stuff like that as well. Compared to the routine we had beforehand. So if you can remember that first phone call that we ever had when you were runner-up in the competition, it was one, but and you were offered a kind of 2-week free trial into the online coaching program. What was your routine like then?
You mean the routine that you sent me?
No, just before you even knew me, mate. Before you even knew me.
Before I even knew you, right then, my routine was get up. I don't know. Well, I was at uni, I think, at that point. Yeah, I was. So it was get up, maybe about 8 o'clock, 7:30, get my breakfast, then do uni lectures from like 9 o'clock onwards, like for 3 days of the week kind of thing, and then doing uni work pretty much every day during the week, and then working part-time on Saturday and Sunday, and then just chilling out with my girlfriends on Saturday and Sunday nights. I mean, if you're looking at just a standard week, that's pretty much it. I wasn't doing a lot else.
Yeah.
Pretty much that.
And how were you feeling at that moment in time for doing that?
No, the best.
Yeah?
No, the best. Honestly, it was because I knew I wasn't doing anything. I just felt lazy. I didn't feel comfortable, like how I was, how my life was. Just not that I was depressed or anything, just that I was not happy with how I was letting myself just slip.
Yeah.
And not doing anything about it. Don't know. I felt quite bad about it, to be honest.
Okay, man. Okay. So why do you think you didn't do anything about it? And I get we probably touched on that a wee bit earlier, just with injuries and stuff kind of getting in the way. But fast forwarding from then, when we could have got back into it, why do you think you didn't? Why do you think it took a phone call, basically, or an opportunity to arise?
You know what it took? It took until I can't remember how long it was before that phone call or before I got in touch with you or whatever. Yeah. There was a photo that was taken. My mum took a photo of me.
Yeah.
I just seen how I looked, and I was like, "However, can I let myself get to this stage?" Yeah. I was like, I'm not saying that I was mega fat, but by my own standards, I wasn't happy with my own body.
Yeah.
And I was just like, I think more or less I didn't realise I was letting it get that bad. I was just letting it slip, but not really seeing the effects of it. I was just thinking that I still look about the same, but not really noticing it until I saw that picture, and I was like, I didn't look like that about 5 months ago.
Yeah.
So what's happening?
I think an important part you just said there is you can kind of know in your head that, not that you're letting yourself go, I try not to be as negative about these points, but that you've not been in the best shape because of what you've been doing beforehand. I think you tend to kind of know, but you don't fully know until something like a picture, until something like a night out with mates, or even a dinner out with girlfriend, or something like that, or you maybe go and try a shot on or something, and you're like, hold on a minute. Sometimes it just takes a pain point or that kind of moment of realisation, because at the end of the day, we see ourselves every single day, man. So it's hard to notice the wee changes because we're seeing ourselves so often. But it's like then when you see a picture and you're like, well, hold on, I'm going to compare that back to something I looked like 6 months ago, and you're like, right. And I think it's important to bring up as well because it can very easily happen. And I think, and again, it's something I've spoke about before, I think people think by not doing anything, your life will just stay the same. Like, it's all right, you'll stay in the same shape, your life will be the same, you'll be in the same routine you're in just now, and you can be content with life, man, and that's absolutely fine. We should all be content, but I feel like we should always want better for ourselves as well, and we should always be prepared to work on ourselves. And when I say find time for ourselves, man, that means in all dimensions of life, man, whether it means family life, whether it means relationships, or whether it means having fun, whether it means business, whether it means your own personal development. I think we should be able to find time for all of these things. And by not taking action on them, things don't stay the same. Things get worse, and they get worse over time. And that's why I think it's important that a pain point crops up. It's important that you get that moment of realisation, because, again, it's something I say all the time, how much time, money, and headspace is it going to take, or how much time, money, and headspace is it going to cost you in the future to then fix that problem and get you to where you want to be. So for yourself, I would say, fortunate enough a position that it was with, how long did you not be training for? 6 months or something, did you say?
Yeah, something like that. I think I injured my wrist.
It's not a massive period of time, but it was enough time for you to actually notice something and say, I'm not happy and I want to make that change.
Yep.
So let's talk a bit about your routine now. So routine before was, I mean, it's by no means a bad life, man. It's uni life, it's student life, it's you get to spend time with your girlfriend, and you work the same as we all work, man. It's standard. Let's talk a bit about your routine just now. Talk me through your day to day, yesterday. Just let's go for Monday. Let's talk.
Go for Monday, right? So I get up at 7 o'clock.
Yeah.
Well, at the minute, yeah, I get up at 7 o'clock. Spend, I don't know, about 20 minutes just getting myself ready in the morning.
Yes.
Woken up, just getting ready.
Yep.
Then I'm out the door. I'm out for a walk. It doesn't necessarily need to be the biggest walk. I'm kind of up in it a wee bit every morning, but on Monday it was, how long was it? Maybe about 6,000 step walk. Nothing major.
I'm bearing in mind here that John still obviously just past COVID just a couple of weeks ago as well, so we're still keeping up in that activity.
I'm not quite back up to the 30k steps a day, but I know about a 6,000 step walk in the morning, get back home, and then I'll have my breakfast. I don't know. So you want me to go through like?
Yeah, mate. Every minor detail, man. Go for it.
So then have my breakfast. So I have a bowl of cereal, a wee glass of orange juice, protein shake, and a protein bar. Then I'll head out for the gym about 9:20ish.
Yeah.
And I stay in Darvel, so I drive to the gym, the Kama in Kilmarnock. So managed to get there, get parked up, and into the gym for about 10 o'clock. Pretty much every morning I come to the gym. I'll work out for about an hour and 20 minutes max, maybe. Just depends on the exercises. We'll drive home, get a shower. By that point, probably get an early lunch, and then I will be either chilling out for a wee bit or working on some stuff I've got kind of going on the side of my uni stuff, just kind of hobby stuff. And whilst I'm doing all that, just still tracking my food and getting my steps in throughout the day, just walking about. And then having that time in the evening to do whatever I want to do, and it changes day to day what I want to do. But
of course, man.
You know what I mean?
And we know this is obviously a time where you're on holiday from uni just now. You're still back to, so we know that's still to come back into the mix as well. But obviously, comparing it to the last routine you've just told me, you've got a lot more going on, man, in terms of keeping active and doing shit for yourself. How much better do you feel for doing that?
A lot better. Like, honestly, like the difference between me now to before I started, like, I'm not trying to say it's just because I've been with you, but just before I started with you, the difference is unreal. Like I've been saying to my girlfriend all the time, I'm like, it's unreal how happier I feel in myself. Obviously, the couple of wee stumbles with COVID and injuries, and then the break. Well, the break wasn't really a stumble; it was earned time off. But
exactly.
Just the time away from the gym, like I've just been eager to get back to it and set myself the next goal and just start going for it. It's like having a routine and a structure in place it's just creating a better lifestyle for me. I'm managing to fit everything that I want to do in the days that I've got, if you know what I mean. Like, there's nothing, I'm not having to go out of my way to try and push things off to make sure I get to the gym and stuff like that. I'm just making sure I'm getting all done in the time that I've got, and it's I'm not saying it's easy. But it's easy to fit it in for the time because I know I love it. Because I know I love doing it, I'm going to make time for it.
It's crazy, mate, because it's not crazy, it's actually makes sense, because it's the exact same answer I would give to it if someone were to ask me the same question. How much happier you are within yourself, because because you've got routine in your life, you've got
Mhm.
purpose to the day, you know what you've got to do that day, you're doing stuff for yourself, you're able to fit everything in, or almost everything. You usually fit everything in you can during the week. And you know what you're doing is working. You're in
Yeah.
a lot better headspace. And it's like, it's crazy to think like beforehand, maybe we just didn't believe it would work, or I don't know, we've just never tried it before and we just think it sounds like more work. But it's crazy that we deprive ourselves from doing these things before just because, well, we just struggle to get into routine.
Yeah.
So, what do you think the biggest factor for you was in terms of being able to get into that routine? Because there is a lot of differences there now, I'm noticing. So, you're tracking steps now, you're tracking food, you're hitting food, you're doing workouts, you're working on uni projects, you're still having downtime to chill in the evenings. And again, I do realise we're taking uni out of the equation here, and it's something that's going to be there when you go back. So time will be a bit less of the essence then. But you're able to fit in a lot more. So what do you think the biggest factor in doing that has been in terms of getting that routine?
Just prioritising what's important.
Yeah.
Like what like like my health is honestly, for anybody, your health should be your main priority. You've got to look out for number one.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, you can have all this stuff that you love, but if you're not comfortable in yourself, if you're not healthy, if you're not this, that, and the other, then it's just, I don't know, it just isn't, it's not going to make for a happy life.
Yeah.
I don't think anyway. You could be completely comfortable. It's not for everybody, I get that, but you could be completely comfortable not working out and doing other stuff. Yeah, it doesn't need to be lifting weights or going runs. It could be anything. Any sort of thing that keeps you a bit healthy is beneficial. So just prioritising that has been the biggest difference.
Yeah, I think again, another massive point you've made is prioritising yourself and prioritising your health at the front of everything. Simply because, again, it's something I've spoke about before. We seem to prioritise image over anything else. And I find this genuinely, from the bottom of my heart, mate, you're one of the best results I've seen in people just because of the routine you're in just now. Now, people think that I'm maybe all about body transformations or just six packs, abs, or anything like that, which, yes, we can do, and we've proven we can do it with yourself as well, man. But at the end of the day, that's only a drop in the ocean, really, compared to what you've got out this now. So I think the point I'm trying to make here is, again, something I've spoke about on my social media channels, is we give off this perception of a happy life, of Mercedes-Benz cars, of Costa coffee cups in front of your Audi steering wheel, of 4-bedroom houses for couples with the French bulldog, and we give off this perception of being happy, and I think it's all revolved around money. It's all revolved around how much money you got, how well are you doing in life, and I blame social media so much for it. I love social media at the same time. It is such a handy tool. It's really, really good. It's good for checking in and people, meeting up with friends, and it's also really good for business and stuff for myself. But it can be very, very evil as well. And I think it's a reason we've seen a lot of, we'll say it, depression, suicides, and everything over the past wee while, because people are giving off this perception of having the best life. Now, obviously, people are only going to put up the good things. You're not going to put up one for the odd person, right, for attention or whatever, that they broke up with a girlfriend, or they've just lost their job, or something like that. You're never going to see the bad points. But for someone like that, someone that's maybe just broke up with a girlfriend, someone that's just lost their job, someone that's in shit's creek with debt, to go on Instagram or Facebook and see Mercedes-Benz cars, Costa coffee cups, French bulldogs, and when these people, that's at the end of the day, I seen a quote, and it was I'm going to be a bit off tangent here, but it was Elon Musk, actually, of all people, and he basically said, if you had 30,000, well, he said dollars, if you had $30,000, would you buy a $30,000 car? No, you wouldn't. Why would you spend all your money on a car? And that's it. You might get the odd person that would do it, but I certainly wouldn't. No. So why do people that don't have $30,000 spend $30,000 on a $30,000 car? It's like you put yourself into this much debt just to show people that you have that car. Just to show people. And again, it was another one, and this was actually kind of PT business coaches I've seen it off of, and it was like, most people complain they're skint, but most people have 4-bedroom houses for two, have drive around in Mercedes-Benz cars, and there was another point I can't quite remember. I just thought, do you know what? It's so true. Was try sort of walk about the Stone Island here. That was the other one. Yeah. Now, it's nice to have these things, and I'm definitely not saying it in any way. But the point I'm trying to make is, when you see these things online, social medias and stuff like that, that is a false perception of how life is lived. People often get themselves into debt to actually just get in that position and give them a perception of how they actually live life, when really the things that make you happy are not materialistic things. The things that make you happy are the routine you've got, the purpose you've got in life, the family and friends you're surrounded by, the job you're in, perhaps, maybe the stability you've got in life. Like there's so many other things. There's so many more important things. Your health and fitness. Can't believe I missed that one out. I know what the whole is about. But yeah, your health and fitness, like things that you should be prioritising more over. And again, it's something you probably seen a post last week, and it was about the Mercedes-Benz car, or the pay for one-to-one PT. You'll get a car on finance for the same price. You'll probably get a PT session for twice a week, the same monthly package. Folk won't bat an eyelid to go and get the car. But I'm not saying everyone, but most people, you give them that price for PT, they're like, no, that's far too much money. And don't get me wrong, it's like what we spoke about earlier. It's how you prioritise what you actually want in life. And so for some people, at the end of the day, it is too expensive. It's not that they don't prioritise it. They're just too expensive and they can't do it, which is totally fair enough, man. But it's the same people that will go out and they'll buy that car on finance. They'll go out and they'll spend £500 in an outfit to go out and spend an extra £200 on, £400 on drugs and everything else that same night. But they're not batting an eyelid about it. That's a standard weekend. But what, you want £250 to change my life? No, I'm not paying that. I'm not paying that. Now, I'm not saying that is what I've done for yourself, but I'm saying it can be a factor in it. It can get the ball rolling, and it can show you the ways of basically, giving yourself a happier life. It's all about self-development, man, which is something you've worked on massively over these past 6 months. It's something you've just taken in your stride. And like I say, it's the exact same as me. I done it because I wanted to try. I've probably spoke to you about it before, the Miracle Morning book. It was a 30-day challenge, and the business coach and stuff set me some targets, and I'm like, I feel brilliant. I used to get up at 10 in the morning if I was working at 10:30. I used to be such a last-minute person. I used to leave programs to the last minute. I used to half-ass training. My diet was okay-ish, and I kind of used to just half-ass life and just be content with it, which is fine. I was content, but I was very, very stressed as well. And do you know what? I blamed other people for my misfortunes as well, man. Just in terms of, like PT's been a prime example. He's only busy because he's popular. They should come to me because I know how to get them a result. Well, see, to be honest, at that moment in time, I wasn't getting myself. results in terms of my happiness. So how can I expect people to invest in with me? I then started doing the Miracle Morning challenges stuff. I'm reading, I'm meditating, I'm doing daily stretching, and I'm doing things that don't take a great deal of time. I'm getting up at 5 in the morning, 4 in the morning, and it's through choice. It's like I didn't start till 8:30 today, but I was up at 5. Why? Some people think I'm mad, but I wanted to get up at 5, and I enjoy it. So I think it's just important to go over that point of self-development, how much you can do for you, and how much of a happier life you can have for it. Don't see it as extra work. See it as a better life. See it as doing something for yourself. Don't see it as a misfortune in finances. See it as an opportunity to grow. You've got to really just see the opportunities on hand. And again, plenty of things I'll talk about is we have got the best tool within us. We just really just need to unlock it. It is all in the mindset. As cheesy as it can sound sometimes, I know you can sympathise with that, man, because you're the exact same. It's just been a total shift in mindset. And not that you were in a bad place before, not that I was in a bad place before, but we're in a much better place now. And it's because we've got routine, we've got habits, we've goals that we've set, and we've just got a purpose to every single day, man.
Yeah.
So
it's like even like sorry.
No,
even just when I was on my last routine with you before the one that I'm on just now, when I was just trying to tone down a bit, get a bit slimmer, kind of lose the weight that I'd put on, and I'd set myself that goal to try and walk the 500k steps in that 1 month, and I was getting up at 5:30 in the morning to go on my walks, and I was loving it. I was proper loving it. I was even messaging you, like, it's mad. I'm out at 5:30 in the morning and I'm loving this, just going these walks. And then I ended up absolutely smashing that target by like an extra. I can't even remember how much it was.
I'm sure it was, because I'm sure it was 650. We set 500 and it was close to 650. I'll actually be able to go back and see, but it was close to that. And again, credit to the standards you set yourself. I remember we like got to like maybe the 20th of the month or so, or maybe just after that, before it, I don't know. And you say, oh, you've hit your 500k steps. You're like, all right, I'm just going to continue doing 30k a day. I'm just going to.
Yeah, I didn't want to take the breaks off. I was like, to see how far I can take it.
I'm enjoying it, man. And like I say, it's like from the routine we're in before, where we couldn't really be well doing anything or weren't starting doing anything. It's like now you've got tasks and you're like, right, okay, can I do more? So obviously I was mentioning John had COVID before, and we're just kind of getting back into the routine of back into training and things. I set him a protein target of 150 for the week this week, and his reply to me was, why is the protein low? Because I'm usually 180. And again, it's a great example of I would just try to weed him back into a routine. He's hit 180 every single day this week. not because I've set it, because he set these standards for himself, where he knows he can do it and he wants to do it. And that's the difference now. It's going from not doing anything at all to being given tasks and raising the bar even higher. And that's what it takes for a happier life, man. It's like, you ever hear that saying, like 1% better every day? It's like how much you will grow in that year if you can just 1% to every single day, man. So my next point was, because I've rambled on there a wee bit about myself as well, but it's just because it's very similar, man.
It's all relatable. It's all stuff that applies to me as well.
Yeah, so if you could give one piece of advice to anyone watching that's maybe struggling to get a bit of routine, because I get this question all the time from people, mate, I'm really struggling to get routine, I'm struggling to find the motivation, do you have any tips, is there anything I can do that might help? What piece of advice would you give to someone to try and break bad habits maybe and get into a better routine?
I'd really just say to start slow. It doesn't need to be full guns blazing right for the get-go. Like, you're just going to burn yourself out doing that. Like, just start. I mean, I think, if anything, just start slow and set small targets. And then you can see how easily you can beat these small targets. And you're like, do you feel good about beating these small targets? Yeah. Set yourself a higher one. Doesn't need to be massively higher, but just keep doing that and gradually, and it doesn't need to be all these things at once. It could be one thing. It could be like, right, today I want to go for a 10-minute walk. Go for a 10-minute walk. Mm-hmm. Right, that was easy. I'll do that. I'll do that every day this week. Do that every day, and just keep doing things like that until you're like, this is actually all right. This is easy. And just start doing things like that. Just take it slow. I wouldn't. I think a lot of people they try and take on too much too quickly, and it becomes a bit much for them. Whereas if you even if it was just you just started tracking your food, not necessarily targeting your food, just watching what you're eating, writing down what you're eating, and just being like, all right, okay, right, getting used to a routine of just being able to do it before setting the targets, just getting into the habit of doing these things first before really try to go for it. Because then that way you're kind of building up the foundations for it first, so that way you're used to the habit of doing it. That you then become like, right, okay, we're going to up it a wee bit, but it's still the same thing you're doing, it's just a wee bit more.
I've got to totally agree, mate. I think you've kind of hit the nail on the head with that. Again, it's advice I would give. I would not go full guns blazing from the start.
No.
The reason being, you could probably do it maybe for the first couple of weeks, but you'll burn out, you overwhelm yourself and it becomes far too much. At the end of the day, if someone's never tracked food on MyFitnessPal before, let's just use that as an example. If you go and say to them in week 1 you want them to hit 200 grams of protein, stay under 1,600 calories, and you want them to track it every single day, like that's like, well, I don't even know what protein is. I've never tracked the MyFitnessPal before, so I think first of all, you're absolutely right. It's about establishing routine, and it's definitely something I know we done from the start, and something I know I definitely get everyone doing from the start that tries to get into a bit of training routine is no limitations, just track food. Don't care about protein, don't care about calories, just track it. Steps, just track them. Is that workouts? Get them in. Don't worry about the numbers, just get them in. Then you've set a routine, and you've just monitored steps, you've just monitored food, and you've just done a couple of workouts for the week. How much better does that compare to last week? That's the biggest step. That's the biggest step.
Yeah.
My carbs were higher. Don't worry. They're absolutely fine. We're just setting the foundations, like you said. And then, like we spoke about before, it's about getting that 1% better. Because if we hit you with too much at once, it becomes overwhelming, you burn out, and you don't want to do it, and it's giving you a bad experience where you find it very hard to get back into it again, because you've got this belief now that it doesn't work. And it's too hard. So you don't want to do it again because you associate it with being too difficult for you, and you're never going to be able to have that lifestyle because you just can't stomach it, basically. So I think I've not had a warning or anything yet, man, but I think we're going to hit 40 minutes, and we've certainly got everything in that I wanted to get in terms of my questioning and stuff, mate. And you've really elaborated on a lot of points for me, which has been brilliant, man. We could probably talk for another 40 minutes if we wanted to. But just to kind of finish up, man, like, is there anything you want to add? I know we've kind of just done a bit of advice for people there, but anything at all you want to add to this, or get out there to any pieces of advice, tips, or anything? And this doesn't even need to be just routine, it could be training, it could be absolutely anything, man.
I think what I would say for folk that are, I don't know, maybe just not content or happy in anything, any aspect of their life, is that they need to invest in themselves. It doesn't matter. I'm not saying like go and start a business. I'm not saying something like that. I just mean like you need to take the time for yourself. Whether that be through training, like what I opted for, which has helped me massively, or it could be starting a business. It could be even just like a lifestyle coach, just to get your mentality right and things like that. Just you need to kind of take the time to invest in yourself. And I don't really think, I know it's hard to say because money is obviously something that revolves around everything, but price should never really be a factor in it. I know some might really overcharge, which
Yeah.
I don't know. That's up to them, and if that works for them, that's for them and their banks or whatever. But you shouldn't ever really value like the cost of improving your own life as something negative.
Yeah.
If you know what I'm saying, like I don't know. It's like your health is the most important thing, and if you're not happy and things that are going on, you need to do something about it, and you need to invest in yourself. You need to invest in your own time to make sure you're happy. It's what life's about, being happy. We're not put here to be sad and depressed and upset about things. Things will happen. Things will happen, but it's about having something there that will take it away.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Definitely, man. Good bit of advice there, mate, and something again I would totally agree with. We've got to be able to invest in with ourselves, and like you say, although money revolves around everything, it shouldn't be your first protocol when it comes to investing in yourself. You should be thinking more about the result you're going to get from it, as opposed to what the price of it actually is. But yeah, investing in yourself is the most important thing. Forget materialistic things. Forget this false perception that people have online. Focus on you as a person to be happy, because the Stone Island t-shirt won't do it. The 4 bedrooms for 2 people won't do it. Like it is, reading will do it. Going in courses, educating, working on your health and fitness, stuff that is going to make you feel good will absolutely do it, man. So thank you very much for your time, mate, and thank you absolutely everyone that has decided to kind of tune in and listen. I'll try and get another one of these done maybe next month at some point. But yeah, just thanks everyone again for listening, and I'll get another one up next month. Thank you.